and she goes off on this spiel for like 2 minutes, and then she just stops and she just does what she's doing, and everybody's just staring at her. When I mean like the whole Tim Hortons is just quiet, it's just quiet. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's just Olivia Lewis, and today I have a story time for you. Short story time, but something, I was watching another YouTube video and from someone else, and it just triggered me. It brought back so many memories, and I was like, you know what, let me tell you a story time. I did try not to, just because I did not like the place so much, but I'm gonna do it. But before I do, I don't know if anyone wants to know what lip gloss I have been wearing, and it's like a lip stain, and it's called She Glam from Shein. And it's in the color Mood, like that. It's literally like this. It literally goes on like a lip oil, but I love it. It's beautiful. But anyway, I digress. Okay, so we're just gonna go on. So this story time is about why I hate and will try my best, and hopefully I will never again, but I will hopefully never ever work at a fast food joint ever again. I hate it so bad. Okay, before I even do that, let me just tell you why. Okay, so I used to work at Tim Hortons, and this was my first fast food like job. And for everyone outside of Canada, probably people in America know too, but like it's like a Canadian, well, I think it's owned by an American company now, but it was a Canadian thing, and it's like a lot of the stores are in Canada. Like it's a known Canadian brand, right? And it's just like a coffee shop, like it's almost like Starbucks, Canadian Starbucks. That's what I'm gonna say. Canadian Starbucks sells the same thing: some soups, some sandwiches, juice, muffins, donuts, stuff like that, right? So I worked there for a while, and the place was okay. There were some younger people, but then there were some older people, and the older people will practically be like the managers and stuff like that, or just long-time employees that were there. And there was one particularly I'm gonna be that out. There was this one particular lady that I hated, and I didn't hate her really for me. This story time is about two people. The first person, we're gonna call them Brown. I don't know. I'm gonna call her Brown. She's not brown, but like I'm just gonna call her Brown, right? And then the second person I'm gonna call Cricket. I don't know why. I don't know, Cricket. So Brown, the reason why I hate Brown is because she would make everybody cry. And in a fast food place where you have nowhere to hide, it's like stupid that you would literally want the people who you're working with to feel so bad about themselves that they have to like take a bathroom break to go and cry. I hated her for that reason. And the other reason why I hated her because of that reason is because she would literally do it as if it was for sport. Like it wasn't like the person was doing anything, and even if they were doing anything, I don't think you should like shout after people or anything, but like she was just evil, man. She was evil. Anyway, so that's why I hated her. I'm gonna tell you a little story time about her now. So people used to tell me that she used to make people cry, right? But I never see it, and she was slightly rude to me, but you know, I'm not really I'm not taking stock of her like that. I really just wanted, because at that time I was going to school and I was working, and it was just really stressful. I literally did not have time for her, and I rarely worked with her. She worked mostly on days and evening shifts, and I would mostly come in after school, so I would mostly work between like 12 p.m. to 12 a.m., right? That's like closing. So I would rarely see her, and if I did see her, it would be for like a very short amount of time. Okay, so I had this friend who used to work at Tim Hortons with me, and I guess she was a nice person. I don't know, like I haven't spoken to her in a long time, but she was a nice person to me then. I have no qualms about that, right? But like, I guess she wouldn't talk back to people or like tell them how she felt, because she got caught up in one of these things where they would make her cry like constantly, right? Someone told me that this is not the first time they're making her cry. So, but me, new to the place, I think I was working there for like probably 3 months until I recognized like the attitude of people there, right? So apparently the girl like filled the coffee like too slow. That's what I heard. Like she filled the coffee too slow or something. And she was like gone. I'm like, okay, so before I say that, when you're working at Tim Hortons, you have like the front desk people, and then you have the people for drive-through. This day I was on drive-through, and on drive-through usually you have, like, in the day you have 3 persons. So one who is 2 people who are taking the orders, and one who no, 2 people who are making the orders, and one who is like taking the orders, right? So they're the person who will be like, oh, hi, welcome to Tim Hortons, what can I get you? That person is like taking the orders. And then the people who you don't see are probably the 2 people who are in the back making the coffee, running for your donuts, for your sandwiches, making your sandwiches, maybe making your slushies, all that thing, right? So we only had 2, or no, we had 3 people that day. So the lady Brown, she was like taking the order. So she was like, oh, hi, can I help you? Like, what would you like for your order today? Whatever. And me and the girl and I, we were like making the orders. All of a sudden she's gone. I'm like, well, what is wrong with the girl? Like I'm being swamped with orders. So I go in the back and she's fucking crying. And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, why are you crying? And apparently the lady just made her literally cry, because I guess I don't know if she was being slow, or she was like mixing the orders like wrong or something, but just like for nothing. But that's just like a side story. Now for the main story of why I hate working at fast food places. So this story is mine now. So this story is about Cricket. She is a manager, or a supervisor, I would say. Not a manager, a supervisor, right? And excuse me. So Cricket is a supervisor, not a manager, right? And she is one of those, like, she's older. Like, I would say she could actually be my not grandma, she could be my mom, I would say. No, actually she was a tad bit older. I would say to me she seemed like she was like 60, and apparently she had like diabetes or whatever. And I don't really care if she like hears, or like if she hears about this story or whatever, because really she can't say anything, because everything that I'm saying is true. So it is what it is, right? So she had diabetes or something, and to be honest, when I first met her, I won't say like I loved her, but I liked her because we bonded over like love books, like romance novels and stuff. And she actually read one of my favorite books, and we bonded over it. And it was cool. It was like when you go to a place, you find people who you have things in common with, right? And especially if they approach you first, because I'm really not the type of person to approach other people first in a workplace setting, just because I know that there are cliques in workplaces, and I just get anxiety over that shit. Like, I'm not, like, you just being mean to me, or me thinking that you're gonna be mean to me, just sets me on fire. I cannot do it. So I'm the person who, you see them in the training room, and they'll give you that little smile, and probably I'll ask you how to do something, and that will lead to a friendship. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, hey girl, what's up? Like, no, not me. So anyway, we bonded over books, and she used to work late, like a lot. So I would be on her shift a lot, right? And she was kind to me, I would say, but she was also very impatient. And I would see her being very impatient or rude with other people, and I'm just saying this, just looking back, I think the reason why she wasn't mean to me like in that period was because I was new. Solely because I was new. I felt like her real personality was what she was showing, what I was seeing when she was talking to other people, right? Okay, back to the story. So one day we were working evening shift, and we were getting swamped. Like, I think it was like summer, and everybody from the school and the library and the workplaces, they came over, they were getting coffee, drinks, and it was just a big hullabaloo, right? So Tim Hortons has this thing where you shouldn't like rush the customers, but you also should like try to move them along so you keep the line going, right? So I'm doing that, and I'm taking a man's order, and we have like 3 people beside me. We have the drive-through is full, so we're fully staffed, and we're like full to capacity, like with clients, right? So we have like a long line going through the door, and this guy comes to me, and he's ordering bagels and like cream cheese, and like he wants things on his bagels, and he wants like juice or something, like, and coffee. Now he got his coffee order down, and when you type it into the system, it comes up on the maker's like screen so that they can start making the food, right? Now sometimes they don't even allow you time to send it through. They just start making the order, which usually works out, because usually people don't change their order drastically, but sometimes it doesn't work out, right? So he ordered his thing, and then he's like, you know what? Actually, I don't think my girlfriend wants that. So he changed one of the bagels, like one of the toppings on the bagel. So he didn't change the actual bagel. He still wanted the same bagel. So say she wanted like an everything bagel or a cinnamon bagel or something like that. He didn't change the actual bagel, but he changed what the topping was, like cream cheese or butter or whatever. I don't remember exactly, right? And me being courteous, because you're in customer service, I'm like, oh, sure, no problem. So I delete it and I put it back, and I'm waiting. He's like, and he's there thinking. Okay, so the my phone storage kind of like left me, but anyway, as I was saying, I have to continue story. So anyway, as I was saying, so the lady, she didn't like. She just asked for the guy, he changed like the order. Like he changed like what he wanted on the bagel, but he didn't change the actual order, right? So I don't know if I said this before, but like when you do that, like when you put it in, it goes to the people who are making the order. It goes to their computer, right? So they can see it to like start making it. Okay, so we're like full. I mean, we're fully staffed. Like we have 3 people in drive-through, 3 people on the front of the house, and we're just full of clients. I mean, people, the line is out the door, and like the dining area is full. Like there's no seats. Like you have to go outside. Like there's no more seats, right? So anyway, and of course you have the baker and stuff around the back. So I'm there waiting for the guy, being courteous or whatever, and he's like, you know what, let me just call he wants like text his girlfriend to see, just make sure that what he's ordering for her is great, right? So I'm like, no problem. Once it takes like a minute, it's completely fine with me, because why am I going to be rude to you when everyone else is going to see that? And I just don't feel like that's nice, because sometimes I'm ordering things and then I don't remember what I'm ordering. I have to take a little minute to gather my thoughts, right? So anyway, so Cricket, she's over where the drive-thru is, so she's like 8-10 feet away from me, right? So I don't know if I said this before, but like I remember where the thing cut off, but like if you've ever been to Starbucks, that's how the front of our counter is. So you can see everything we're doing, and I mean like everything. Like if we're making your food, you can see it. If we're making your drinks, you can see. The only thing you can't see us is making the ice cap, and that's because it's in the bakery part. Like you have to go around the back, right? That's the only thing. We're making your ice caps, anything, bagel, bread, tea, you can see that, right? So I'm there waiting, and I guess she started making the order or something. So she shouted at me, and essentially what she's practically saying that like I should learn how to like do the job properly. That's what she's like. Essentially what she is saying is that I put in a half a order and I should like stop. Like she's berating like I should stop. I should learn to do my job properly. And she goes off on this spiel for like 2 minutes, and then she just stops and she just does what she's doing. And everybody's just staring at her. When I mean like the whole Tim Hortons is just quiet, it's just quiet. Like it's quiet. So the baker, who he's at the back, he hears and he comes, and the way how I am, I said this before, but I'm just gonna repeat it. The way how I am is I feel like shame first and then anger. Like I'm not like anger and then like fight or flight, like go and cuss her off first I have to like, because sometimes I can't even believe the audacity of people. Like sometimes it has to sink in, and then I feel shame, and then I get angry. Like I guess my brain is slow that way. I don't know, man. But the baker comes from the back where he's baking, doing his stuff. It's come at the front of the house to tell me. He whispered to me, and he stayed with me through like 2 more orders, and he said, don't worry, I'm gonna give you your break. Like your break is in like 5 minutes, don't worry about it. Like I'm gonna give you your break, it's fine. She's rude, we know, right? And the client who is witnessing all of this, well, everybody's witnessing all this, but the client whose order I'm taking, he's like, I'm so sorry, like I didn't know she would do that. I'll come, and I'm in my head, I'm just like with tears like welling up in my eyes. I'm just like, no, it's fine. It's like totally not your fault. Like it's fine. I'll be okay or whatever. And then the baker, he takes my place and he sends me on break, because he's probably like, this girl's about to cry. But I saw him the other day. Hey, shout out. But he's like, this girl's about to cry, which I was about to do, because like that shit's embarrassing for someone to shout at you. And it's not like well, I'm not saying that this is better, but I'm showing you just the magnitude. She didn't shout at me in front of 5 people, right? Probably I could just answer her back. She shot at me at work in front of like almost 40 people. Because Tim Hortons sat like 20 people, and every seat was taken, and people were standing up talking to their friends because they didn't have a seat. And then we had a line all the way from where I was to outside. That's how full the place was, right? So anyway, I go take my break, and now I'm getting angry, because the shame is gone. Now I'm upset, right? Now I'm upset. So I'm thinking in my head, obviously I'm not gonna fight her or nothing, because I'm not gonna fight somebody older than me, and plus I'm at work, be professional, right? But in my head I'm being like, I'm gonna give her a piece of my mind, because who does she think she is? Like, does she think that she can just talk to me like that? And matter of fact, like in my head I remember thinking, like, she was nice to me all this time, why is she being so rude and like mean for no reason? Like, I'm not saying that there's a reason to be mean in this circumstance, but like that's how I was thinking, right, in my brain. So I got my break, and then I went back out, and I acted like nothing happened. She didn't talk to me because she's all the way over there. She's like she was making things. She didn't say sorry. She didn't anything, and that just made me even more angry. It just made me like it made me irrational, actually. Like, I was like, I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna just talk. I'm gonna curse her out. I'm gonna quit, and I'm gonna like. It was just a bag of things, right? So I think I started talking to the girl who I said before, like the one who Brown made cry. I think I was telling her, so I'm not really sure. But not many people came to me and be like, oh, are you okay, right? Because she's a supervisor on the shift. Like, I'm not sure what they could do, right? So after that, she went on her break. So when I came off my break, like in 20 minutes, she went on her break. So I was like, excuse me, I wanna someone just cover my tail. I'm gonna like go to the bathroom. Obviously, I'm not gonna be like, I'm gonna cuss that bitch. No, I wasn't like that. I just said, I need to go to the bathroom. I saw her go on her break, and I wait until she got her food. So I know she probably, because she always reads when she's like on her breaks. I know she's probably comfortable. I know nobody's probably there. So I'm gonna just corner her in there, right? So she goes for her break. I see her take her little thing, her little carrots or whatever. And then I just waited like, because usually your break is like 20 minutes. So I waited like 10 minutes, and then I went in there. And then I wondered, there was nobody, and I used the bathroom, because the bathroom is in the break room. So I used the bathroom, like gathered my thoughts, and I locked I closed back the bathroom door. I know you're in the break room, right? And I turned to her, and she didn't even look up at me. This just made me even like more angry. Is there such a word? Like, this made me angrier, right? Like, she didn't even look up at me. No, she didn't say anything, and she was just like eating her carrots, just like reading her book, looking happy as shit. And it just pissed me off like even more. So I said to her, I'm like, excuse me, like, this is how I know I came at her aggressive because of how she reacted. Like, obviously I'm not like an aggressive person to just come at you aggressive. So I know that the way how she reacted to me, I came at her very aggressive. But to be honest, everything that she was doing was making me angrier, because she seemed so relaxed when I almost bawled my eyes out in front of people because she embarrassed the shit out of me for something that I didn't even do, right? So I literally said, excuse me. And then she's like, oh, well, like, you know, like, oh, what's wrong? You know, the little white LED voice or whatever. Like, she was very like that much of like, people would be like a grandmother voice, but it didn't sound grandmother when she was shouting at me out front, but like, that's how she spoke to me, right? So I was like, can I ask you something? No, I said, can I tell you something? And she's like, oh, sure, anything. I'm like, I said, don't you ever speak to me like that. She's like, what are you talking? She looked so shocked. Like, this is why I know I was coming at her aggressive, because she was so shocked. And you're gonna understand what I said, right? She looked so shocked, flabbergasted. It's almost like you were explaining something to her that you like it didn't happen. She had amnesia. She looked thoroughly shocked. Like, if I was another person, I would actually think that I was the one overreacting, right? Like, if people didn't come to me to comfort me and apologize to me, I would think that I was the one who was overreacting because of how shocked she seemed. It's almost like she didn't do it, right? So I was like, don't you ever speak to me like that. And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, just now I'm taking the man's order, and and I explained to her what happened, and she's like, oh, I didn't know that was what happened. And I'm like, exactly. But you shout at me in front of all those people without knowing the full story. I was literally waiting for the customer to tell me his order. Obviously I know how to do my job. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then she tried to hug me. This lady tried to hug me. And if anyone knows me, I'm not a huggy person. Like, just generally, I'm just not the person to be like, oh my gosh, hugs everywhere. No, I will give certain people hugs, but not. I just don't go around and give it. So I literally did this there. I was like, no. But you know, because okay, so I was even smaller than I was now, right? Like I was probably hitting like 110, 115 pounds, right? And she was like a big lady. So by the time like she was to like encompass me with her arms, I was like, no. She had already like slightly hugged me, and I was just kind of like stuck in the middle like this, right? So I guess she recognized that, oh, this girl really does not, like, she's not playing, right? So she apologized. She was like, oh, I'm so sorry. But like the way how she said it was so fucking insincere. I'm gonna beat that up. Was so insincere that I literally just said okay and walked out. I didn't even say okay, no problem. I usually, when I accept people's apology, I would say okay, no problem, it is what it is, and just walked away, right? But literally I was so upset. Oh my gosh, Cinnamon! Literally as soon as I said stop it. It's so weird. Every time I start talking, she starts drinking. But anyway, like I was so pissed. I just said okay and walked away. And then I was talking to the baker, but then he's like, yeah, like I saw that you were able to cry, and like what she did was like totally not okay, and like that's why I came from the back and I took your shift, because I'm like, anyone who's getting showed at like that needs like a break, right? So after that, like every day we would work together. She would bring me home, and I'm literally like, I live like 5 minutes from the Tim Hortons, and she drove. She'd never given me a ride before, and I never wanted to. Literally, I would try and like walk off my calories going back home at night. I didn't care how late it was. I didn't care if it was snowing, raining, nothing. I would never take the bus. Like I would take the bus to work, but I wouldn't take the bus from work, because Tim Hortons food is so unhealthy sometimes, especially the chili. And sometimes because I was rushing in between school and work, I would not carry anything, and I would have to like buy from my own workplace, which is so unhealthy. But especially the donuts. So I would try to walk off the calories, like going like back, like, right? But after she literally started like offering me rides, and I took the ride like once or twice because we had like a snowstorm, and I really wasn't trying to fall on my ass. But like after that, I tried to not work with her anymore. But she was like uber, like she was like dripping caramel sweetness after that. But it was so disgusting. But that's why I would never work at a like fast food joint. And this is not even like, I have another fast food joint story where I used to work at Burger King or whatever, but I worked at Burger King for like 5 minutes. So that's to show you what a bad taste working. And also I have like horror stories. I'm gonna tell you guys. My current job right now as a personal support worker is somewhat worse, but I can leave. You know what I mean? Because as a personal support worker, I go from place to place. But when you're just working at one place, you're seeing those same people every day, right? So if someone is like mean to me, which I did like get some bullying the other day from like just this random person, but I just said I'm not coming back. It's fine. I'm not coming back, and I'll go somewhere else, somewhere where people are nice to me, right? But like when you work at a fast food joint, you're seeing those same people over and over and over and over again. I would literally go rake yards, go cut some leaves, go clean somebody's house, go wash some cars, do like I won't tell anyone. I don't care how young you are. I won't tell anyone to go work at a fast food joint. It's horrible. It like sets horrible precedents for you, how you treat people, how you talk to people, and just how people can talk to you and how people can treat you. So like I'm just not here, guys. That's the end of the story. I really hope you guys enjoyed a little slice of my anger, my pain. But oh, and also, did it fall down? I was just supposed to show you guys and then it fell down. I don't even know. Okay, I hope that wasn't like that way all over. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But if you guys haven't watched the previous video, you guys can check out the previous video where I showed that. And my A is gone. My A has like disappeared. There you go. There you go, honey. Now you're whole. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.